segment with Police Chief Justin Schawl, and we're joined this morning by Indiana Borough Mayor Joe Trimarchi as well. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. We had a little problem getting in touch with Justin this morning. Joe, you finding Justin to be a troublemaker like we are?
You know, he's been a terrific individual to get to know. He's really treated me wonderfully. He's helping me learn what I have to learn. He's just been a great guy. He's an individual that thinks forward.
See, I
appreciate that a lot.
That's not the kind of stuff I want to hear around here. Justin, he's talking nice about you.
Hi, good morning. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a rough introduction. I'm sorry for the hassle this morning, but it's not my intent to cause stress this morning, that's for sure. So I appreciate the opportunity to be with you, and I appreciate the opportunity to have Mayor Trimarchi with us today for the segment. I was telling him how great of a partner you and Renda have been to the police department, and so certainly worth a public acknowledgement and thank you to you and to all the staff for all the assistance to Indiana Borough.
I would second that.
I think it's probably a bit of an open secret how intimately the police department works with the mayor in Indiana Borough, and how very much Indiana Borough Police Department cooperates with all of the different agencies with which you have to deal, Justin. But in working with Mayor Trimarchi, seems like a pretty good partnership.
It's a great partnership, and I can't speak about Mayor Trimarchi without harkening back to Mayor Hood and the positive relationship that we shared with Mayor Hood in the past 20 years, and Mayor Trimarchi much the same. It's been a pleasure so far, and there's a lot to know and a lot to learn, and I'm learning every day, and I'm sure that Mayor Trimarchi's learning more than he probably wants to about the intricacies of policing in Indiana Borough, but the relationship so far has been very solid, and I appreciate wholeheartedly his support of me in the past few months, and I just look forward to working with him and everyone here at Indiana Borough to bring some positive impacts.
Joe, are you settled in to the office now and able to now address some of your goals as mayor?
It's been a little slower with COVID, and I'm sure that everybody shares that thought. I'm really looking forward to the day when I'll be able to go out a little bit more often and venture into the community. But it's been a very nice segment into what I expect my role to be. The chief has been terrific to work with, as Manager Foote and council, and the employees have all been very welcoming to me. And I'm still kind of formulating some of the things that I'd like to try to help council and the chief and the manager to accomplish. But it's been so far, it's been really good.
And some pretty big shoes to fill for you, aren't there?
I totally agree. I have a lot of respect for Mayor Hood. He's been an individual that I've known a long time, both as an individual and of course as mayor. He always did a very good job as mayor, and he's always been a terrific individual to interact with and just talk with. And he's missed at the borough very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin, the last time we spoke with you, you had not welcomed the newest member to the Indiana Borough Police Force. He's soft and cuddly, and I know you like him. So would you do us that honor of introducing us to this new member of the police force?
Well, I do, and by that introduction, I know that you're referring to our Comfort Canine Axel. And I'd love to. I'm looking very, very much forward to more robustly introducing Axel to Indiana Borough and Indiana County, for that matter. Axel comes to us because we recognize there are escalating life stresses, and we recognize that we need to focus on community and officer wellness as a priority here as we move through 2021. We are certainly convinced that Axel will help us build the bridges and connections that we need to move forward, mend relationships that may be fractured, and certainly build upon relationships that are already strong. And then at the end of the day, certainly employee wellness and So Axel provides some levity, and is providing some levity to the police department, and he's getting through a training process that really has no definitive timeline to finish, but we're working with Mutts of Merit. That's an Indiana Borough business. Owner Kelly Coleman has been wonderful to us so far in visiting with Axel and getting us started on a process where he can receive some certifications that make him even more valuable asset to Indiana Borough. So I consider this a win-win-win. There's probably more wins that need to be said about this, but we're in the very early stages, and the program is meant to support the community. The program will need community support, and it has been receiving community support, and we appreciate all those who have known about the program and who have contributed to what we're experiencing as success so far.
And you actually do have a new human member of the police force as well in Hunter Sheriff.
We do, and I thank you for drawing that distinction. So on April 1st, Hunter Sheriff started with the Indiana Borough Police Department, and Hunter comes to us on the heels of the retirement of longtime detective Scott Schawl. So the police department, citizens of Indiana Borough and Indiana County can be very comfortable that we're trending in right directions and good paths for everyone. And Hunter also, I am confident will be capable of significant positive community impacts. And we do have an officer, Casey Niver, in the police academy who will be graduating. And so not only does it speak to how depleted we were, but it also speaks to a very positive, forward-moving trajectory that as chief, I'm excited to get moving here.
Mayor Trimarchi, of course, you know the importance of the Indiana Borough Police Force. You know how tough a job it is. But these kinds of steps, like the hiring of a comfort canine officer and bringing in young police officers to the Indiana Borough Police Force, it's extremely important to keep that line of continuity going. And for those who come into the department to assimilate into the overall mindset of the department, which is to be a force for good and help within Indiana Borough for all the citizens.
That's for sure. You know, it's a very, very important job, and watching the chief administer that department has been a learning experience for me. It's important to take care of all of their needs so that they're able to take care of the needs of the community, and then it's vice versa. They agree to protect and serve, and that's one of his main goals is to get that done safely for everyone involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've always been a pet person, and you know, it really does change the atmosphere. It's wonderful. One of the things I want to do, though, one of my goals, years ago I had a customer who had a dog that he brought to work every day, and whenever I'd get there, the dog would greet me because I knew him, and he'd want me to throw the ball down the hall, and he would chase it. So I'm anxious to try that in the police department. I don't know whether the chief will like it or not, but I am anxious to try it.
The chief, it's your ball.
Right. I think everything in moderation we can make work. So I wouldn't be in a position to stand in the way of that.
There you go. There you go. That's terrific stuff. Justin, as we move into the spring of the year, and as some of the COVID protocols have been lifted by the state, and we begin to stretch out a little bit and enjoy the open air a little bit, what the police force is encountering on the streets is going to change by necessity as well. More people outdoors means more foot patrols, I would assume, and maybe a little bit more on a bicycle.
Yes, I'm looking very much forward to getting out and about with everyone. It's been stretching our legs is going to be a good thing, and so we welcome that type of activity, and we look forward actually to getting back to some of the more relational face-to-face endeavors that we have had in the past. With our foot patrols and our bicycle patrol, I would anticipate that Indiana Borough is going to begin examining the possibility of opening up to some special events, and there have been some discussions, and there will be some discussions of what that can look like, and we're just going to plug in. We're going to plug in positively everywhere that we can, and we're going to look forward to seeing everyone outside in what I hope to be a a very comfortable environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And this being Distracted Driving Awareness Month, next hour we're going to be talking with State Police Trooper Clifford Greenfield about that. And I know that you share his concern as well, that people pay attention, watch for those pedestrians on the streets, and keep everybody safe.
Yeah, I've said before, speaking of Cliff, he's one of the great ones, so I'm sure he'll be a valuable resource. Indiana Borough and Indiana School District went back to in-person classes for the majority of students today, so I would like to say before we end that we again caution everyone as they're driving around, especially in the morning, you're going to see increased student traffic, foot traffic, pedestrian traffic in downtown Indiana, and it's everyone's responsibility to be safe. So whether you're behind the wheel or you're walking across the street, we just want to make sure, once a negative event happens, it's impossible to rewind. So we want everyone to take care and be proactive in safety. You know,
it's interesting you say that, because we got a report from earlier this morning from a listener who said that there was quite the traffic jam around the junior high school. It was hard to get out onto the street because of the increased number of vehicles and folks around there. So, yeah, people need to be extra careful, and obviously you as a police force, you're going to do whatever you can to alleviate whatever pressure there is out there on the roads. We'll be out and about, and that traffic jam was not unusual for every past year, but coming off the heels of a divided school year, I think things are going to look a little bit more hectic than what we're used to. But again, these are good problems to have, because it harkens us back to, or brings us back to a time when things were more active in town, and I think that's positive. So just a little extra time and travel a little slower. Indiana Borough Police Chief Justin Schawl, Indiana Mayor Joe Trimarchi joining us this morning. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. AM 1160.